We can often find ourselves in a constant cycle of heightened stress, usually due to thoughts about things that need to be done and worries about the future that never seem to stop. And because of this, we feel on edge and quick to anger. And there can come a time when our physical health can begin to suffer, and mentally, we experience little peace of mind. Deep relaxation can seem impossible, and it can be a struggle just to get to sleep at night. Constantly thinking about numerous things that need to be done, which only prompts a desire to push even harder and faster, making it seem impossible to relax. We can focus so intensely on things that need to be done that we lose contact with the present moment, often when little or no action can be done on the circumstance that trigger the stress response. Stress is useful and even helpful when the event triggering the response is occurring in that exact moment. Picture driving your car or truck on the highway. You are with your family and there are several other vehicles on the highway, but all traffic is moving along and well spaced out. You are aware of the other vehicles to your front, sides, and rear, and that in approximately 2 miles, you will need to move several lanes over in order to get off the right exit. But you are completely calm, talking to whoever you are with, listening to the song on the radio. It's an overcast day, and you know that rain is in the forecast, but there has only been a few drops. But then very suddenly the sky opens up to a full downpour. And in that instant, the focus on your driving, the road in front of you, and other cars around you increases by 1,000. You flip your windshield wipers on full blast, sit up a little more in your seat, and lean in, gripping the steering wheel tightly with both hands. Focus like a laser beam on the cars ahead of you through the rapid swipes of the wipers. And remember, you still need to navigate over several lanes to make the exit. This situation commands so much of your attention that you don't even notice the change in breathing pattern, the increase in your heart rate, and the widening of your eyes, your quickened reflexes, or your heightened focus. As you are maneuvering through high-speed traffic through pouring rain, these psychological and physiological responses are aiding your performance to maneuver these obstacles and quickly get you and your loved ones to a safer place. You are in a very heightened state of stress during this, but you aren't troubled by it, because the obstacles and potential danger that is causing the stress response is literally surrounding you. You might only begin to notice your interior experience once you exit the highway and the potential threat has passed. It isn't until then that you notice that your heart rate is elevated, but quickly settles. This is helpful stress, in that it increases your ability to act and react quickly, and in a way that reduces the likelihood of harm. We aren't troubled by this stress because we hardly notice it. Even if we could get rid of it, we wouldn't want to. But what about the stress that isn't helpful? That is typically stress that comes from thoughts about things that we need to do or a certain situation that we are worried about. But we can't do anything about it in that moment because it isn't directly in front of us. And because we can't do anything about it, the physiological sensation of stress, whether it is a pit in the stomach or tightness in the chest, remains because there is no direct resolution, like in the driving on the highway example, where the direct resolution was maneuvering off of the highway. But when we are focusing on a problem that is not solvable in the present moment, the natural response is unrelenting stress that we can try to distract ourselves with throughout the day. But then at night, without any distraction, there it is. When we focus our attention on thoughts of a circumstance that is concerning, our body reacts by initiating a stress response. so we can experience the physiological stress of an event that exists in our mind, even as we lay in bed at night trying to get to sleep. And as long as we focus on these thoughts, the stress remains because we can't take effective action on the subject of the stress because it's not physically present to us at that moment. Someone might say to you, stop worrying about it, just stop thinking about it. But this never works because trying to not think about something forces you to think about that thing you are trying to not think about. And as long as your attention is on the thought, your body will automatically respond. So when someone suggests this to you, to just not think about it, now you are not only still stressed but also angry. So let's now introduce a framework that actually is effective, but it does take practice to get good at. But that is true for most everything. To break this cycle, we use the Acknowledge, Connect, Engage framework, ACE for short. The A stands for acknowledge, which means to notice a thought for what it is. With stress, it is a thought about a situation that is triggering the response. Whether it is about things that need to be done or a worrisome situation, the idea is to stop resisting the thoughts by trying to push it away or fight it. Simply label it and recognize that it is a thought occurring in your mind. For example, I am noticing a thought about what I have to get done tomorrow. Or I am noticing a thought about a payment that is almost overdue. Or I am noticing a thought about an upcoming medical procedure that I'm worried about. The C in ACE is connect, which means connecting to your physical body in the present moment. And this is done by shifting your focus away from the thought that you noticed and directly onto your physical body. Begin by pinpointing the specific area where the feeling of stress resides, such as a knot in your stomach or tightness in your chest. From there, gently expand your awareness outward to notice sensations in other parts of your body, grounding yourself in your physical presence. This is a good time to consciously take 2 or 3 very long, slow, and deep breaths, focusing intently on the sensations of breathing. Then shift your attention back to the area of your body where you most notice the feeling of stress. See if you experience it any differently after taking those deep breaths. Another excellent breathing exercise to use here is 4-7-8. E is for engage, as in engage with your present environment. This is done by shifting your focus to the outer environment. Direct your attention to what is happening around you in the present moment, outside of your own body and mind, reorienting yourself to the reality of your current surroundings. Listen for distinct sounds outside of your own body. This might be the hum of a fan, the quiet breeze and rustle of leaves outside your window, or the distant sound of a car passing by, or the total absence of any sound. You can notice that as well. Then shift your focus to the textures of your immediate surroundings. If you are laying in bed hoping to get to sleep, focus your attention on the weight and temperature of your blanket, the smooth surface of your pillowcase, or the texture of the sheet against your skin, and the feeling of gravity gently pulling down on your body onto the bed. What I've just described is a process that is very effective in disengaging with stress-inducing thoughts and connecting to the present moment with peace and serenity. It sounds simple, and it is. But simple doesn't mean easy. It takes a lot of practice to get good at. But you won't have to practice long before noticing the difference that it makes in reducing stress. Here I use the example of racing thoughts at night while in bed, but you can use this ACE practice at any time and in any place. It works if you work it. A note on patience and practice. It is perfectly normal and expected that when you first begin using this process, The stress-inducing thought may come right back as soon as you finish the cycle. You might find yourself having to go through ACE over and over again. Please be patient with yourself. You are learning a new skill that you have never tried before. And like any new movement or practice, it takes time for your brain to build these new pathways. It is not a failure if the thoughts return. It is simply part of the process of training your attention. As long as you continue to practice returning your focus to the present moment, you will get better, and the grip of those reactive patterns will naturally begin to loosen over time.